What's up, everybody? Survivor Gamer here with a little episode of No Man's Sky. I'm going to teach you guys how to make some money, and this is pretty much for beginners that have just pretty much started the game. It's not too complicated. It's a fast way to make a few million credits or more, depending on how much time you want to put into it. So let's get started. First thing you need to do is you need to have your hyperdrive engine. Make sure you have your hyperdrives. Doesn't matter what ship you have it on, just make sure you progress through the little hour storyline and you have your hyperdrive. Make sure you have access to a medium refiner. So I have a medium refiner here on my base, and I will show you what it looks like in case you have not gotten your medium refiner. Now, it's very important to understand that the economy of this game is kind of broken. Uncertain aspects, so you can sell things, buy things that are in demand, things that aren't in demand. Yeah, that's a slow, crappy way of making credits, but you could definitely do it that way and run around. I suggest hyperdriving to about 10 or 15 space stations to make this a little easier, and to do that you simply take your ship into space, look at your galaxy map, pick a system, jump to it, go on the space station, rinse and repeat. Now once that happens, you'll have access to all the space stations that you jump to, a certain amount anyway. So you'll be able to see a whole list here. Once you have a good little list, you want to start jumping to those space stations and you want to start buying a couple things. You want to start buying oxygen and you want to start buying chlorine. Now, look at the chlorine that I have bought. Now, I put 3,000 chlorine into this medium refiner, but look at what it's going to give me. Now, I can even take more of that away and it would give me the same amount. Basically what I'm saying is it basically dupes chlorine. It's not an illegal thing to do. This isn't duping, but it is duping. I mean, it's basically making more chlorine because of the oxygen and chlorine ratio. So you can start making chlorine like crazy with some oxygen. So you run around to the planets. Oh, do I need to farm the oxygen? Well, at first you're going to have to, but if you could do a few things and get about, I don't know, 30,000 credits or 10,000 credits, just start buying the oxygen and buying the chlorine at these planets, at the space station. It's easier to buy the chlorine and buy the oxygen than to farm it. So basically you're going to make a bunch of chlorine. Now I've already done this, so we can speed this up. So in my exosuit, you see I started with 500 chlorine and I have made all this chlorine, okay? So I've made a lot of chlorine. Now it's simply to go to a space station that you found where chlorine is in demand. So when you buy the chlorine, you want to make sure the chlorine is not in demand. You want to make sure it's cheap. Don't buy chlorine that has like a positive 5.7, demand on it. Buy chlorine that's like -2 or -8 or whatever. So if the chlorine's negative, buy it. Oxygen, it's always going to be in demand, but you might get lucky. But it's not going to be more than you spend. So I've already found a space station that needs chlorine. So we're going to go to the space station right now. So you need a medium refiner, a hyperdrive, and a couple, maybe 30 minutes worth of jumps, and you guys can do this. And you can do this as much times as you want. Now, once you buy the chlorine from the system, it's going to take a few hours for it to regenerate. That's why you want to have a bunch of space stations in your inventory or whatever, so you can jump to quite a few of them. So here we go. So there's nothing for sale here, but if I go to sell, and well, for instance, when I buy, look at the oxygen here. Let's see if they have oxygen for sale. They do have oxygen, -2.3. So this is you need to buy this. You would want to buy this oxygen because it's not in demand. It's going to be cheap. Same thing with the chlorine. Let's say this was chlorine. You would look for the demand. If the demand's high, you definitely don't want to buy there. But once you buy it all, you go to sell, and look, the demand for chlorine is 1.5%. Holy crap. I bought the chlorine at -3%. I bought the oxygen at -4%. And I'm making the 1.5% extra. So I spent 200,000 credits and just got 8 million credits. So there you go. So that's how you do it. I mean, I just got 8 million credits for about 200,000 credits. Now, granted, I had 200,000 credits, but you can start this with any amount. It's just insane. So oxygen, chlorine, make sure you guys, do that, and you'll make some money. So until next time, you guys have a good day. This has been Survivor Gamer with a little Survivor Gamer update, a little tip on making some credits for some chlorine on No Man's Sky. You guys have a blessed day and be safe. See you in the stars.